Okay, so a lot of people they hear that Ableton Live or Logic Pro are much better DAWs or just systems in general compared to FL Studio. Well, that's not exactly the case, but if you're one of the people that are willing to swap from FL Studio to either Ableton or Logic Pro or Cubase, anything, you'll want to know what's the differences between Ableton or whatever, etc., and FL Studio. How can you go from FL Studio to Ableton? Well, you know, it's really difficult at first. See, you have this view right here, which is really similar to the timeline that you get with FL Studio, and then you have this sort of it's a totally different. This is where the creativity happens. This is where you lay it out right here. So basically, we'll start off with a your basic beat making. And in Ableton Live, it's called Impulse, instead of just your standard, the beat making that comes with FL Studio. You know what I'm talking about. Well, you just drag it and drop it over here. This is sort of like your channels, and you have these little squares down here. And what I'll do is I will show you, just for an example. Alright, say I want to use this kick. I'll drag it down here to this square. I want to use this, let's see. I want to use this snare. I want to use... I want to use this crash. No, not this crash. I want to use this hi-hat. Okay. Now this is just for basics. Okay. And you want to double click right here, and then it brings you up to sort of like the piano roll. This is your version of the piano roll when it comes to Ableton Live. Make it bigger, whatever. You don't really have to. Okay. Now you want to come up here and you want to click this little pencil, because it makes it a whole lot easier, and press play. So it's so simple whenever you get the hang of it. So you make your basic 4 on the floor, which is always three spaces apart to get your 4 on the floor, and then but see, I like to start off with just a basic drum. And then what you do is you press right here, and that stops everything that's playing. And you can make a new one. I'll do it right here. Make a new selection in that channel, and then sort of your basic 4 on the floor, and then you want to add in some snare. So say you have that now. Okay. Now you want to start off with your normal 4 on the floor. So. All right. Now you want to go into floor clap. It's really simple and basic. Okay, now I'll show you, for example, where you take stuff from this view and put it into the actual timeline view, similar to FL. So you always want to put it down where it says impulse whenever it comes to the drums for the impulse, because it's common sense, but it actually, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a little bit to understand that. Sorry, I put the drum clap in. I'm gonna put the basic. Alright, so now you have this going on. It's really simple. Okay, and now another good thing to learn is whenever you need to add in some audio. I'm just going to ignore this one right here. I want to cut that. Alright, when you need to add another audio, say you have the spots that are already open, you have them full. You need to go right here, right click, and click Insert Audio Track. Now remember, I'm giving you the basics that when you're coming from FL Studio, that you know how to do from FL, you wondering what to do here. So, for the audio track, I'm going to go into my Vengeance Essentials, Effects, Downlifter, 33, I believe. Okay, it's 33. Alright. Now you want to be able to control your your master audio for certain sounds. So on the down lifter, which is brown, I want to bring it down to about negative 1.26, 25, whatever. So now that I have that audio right here, it'll play, where I dropped it, just like a normal FL Studio track would. So okay. Now another big tip is going to be, how do you insert like a synthesizer? For this experiment, well, not experiment, for this showing, I'm going to use Massive. And all you do is you click right here to the plug-in devices, and at first it will come up telling you to find, that you need to find the VSTs. Just have it search your whole computer for VSTs, and that doesn't take way too long. And these are the ones it's found on mine, so you take it and you just drag it and drop it right here. Okay. So I'll just let's see what this is. Alright. That's okay, something. I just want to start up a new thing right here. Close out of Massive. And I don't like to have that on there, the pencil, because it just, I don't know. You can't do this. You can't just, it's weird. It's like, I'll show you. You can't see it does that. It makes a bunch of spaces, and you don't want that. You just want to make it full sound. So let's see. So I'm going to make like a, I don't know, sort of like a bass to go behind it. Okay, so. Alright. I messed up whenever I made that so big. Okay. So this section you want to put into the, let me close that. Put the Massive into where it says Massive. See, that's where it's different than FL. You have to have it in certain channels that are made for, certain channels. You can't just have it, like you can't have a Massive track in an impulse track, because what it'll do is it'll take the notes you're doing and put it towards that. It's just sort of, I don't really know how to explain that, but let's see. Here's what we'll have. It's not going to sound great, but I'm just doing this as an example. Alright. Okay, so these are just, like I said, some of the basics, and I am going to end this because we're at 8 minutes, and I'll make a part 2, and you can come check that out if you'd like. I'll see you later.